Have you ever loaded up an old save in a video game that you spent lots of hours on and felt weirdly empty? Like you can't continue playing this game, perhaps you need to start all over again? I feel it's like stepping into a ghost town. All the time that you spent playing this game is now like walking around old memories. I think this hits the hardest in survival games. It's almost like a digital time capsule, a window into the person that you used to be, the friends that you hung out with when you played the game, and perhaps now you don't even speak to those people, and you aren't the same person either. I talked about this on stream, and I was just thinking about how those old saves made me feel so nostalgic and sad for the time that had passed. So in this video I'm going to show you that discussion, and perhaps it will remind you of some old worlds that you once spent many hours in. How do you guys feel when you load up an old survival game, like a map that you worked on? For instance, when you say you've played Minecraft like a year ago with some friends, and they're not playing the game anymore, and you load up Minecraft now to look at that map, how does it make you feel? Or when you've played Valheim, or any of those survival games, and you load up the map, and no one's there anymore, and you're looking around at all of the fun that you used to have. For me, it makes me feel a bit strange. Not empty, but I can't continue that world. If I want to play Minecraft, I've got to make a new world. There's too much tied in with that map. There's too much tied in with the times that have already happened in that Minecraft map. And it's strange because there was one map that we played during lockdown. There must have been like 8 of us on the server. The map was really populated, all these buildings. We were online most days playing it. And we was playing the Bedrock edition. There's people playing on Xbox, playing on the Switch, playing on PC, playing split screen. And then you load it up now and it's empty. And I just think it gives me a strange vibe. An empty, hollow vibe looking at it. It's almost like going, not to a graveyard, but it's that sort of feeling. Loading up an old world and no one's there. And there's something about save files in general of old games, but something particularly poignant about survival games, because they're times of your life. For instance, I played through The Forest 2. I'm not sure if it was called The Forest 2, but there's a game called The Forest and there was a second one. I played through that with some friends, and I loaded up that map after we'd finished the game just to record I wanted to record my thoughts on it and like review it essentially. And it did give me this strange feeling because, you know, my friend wasn't on there collecting logs, or my other friend wasn't on there just exploring or getting food or whatever it was. We had our jobs. You go get wood. You build the house. You do this. You do that. That's all gone. Huge Jacksman said here, the memories and flashbacks of a bunch of stupid things we did. I mean, I feel we feel old at this point. It does make me feel old. But old in the moment. Just the fact that that moment's now past. And we're not playing that game anymore. And there's so many of those kind of games. And it might even be a single player game where you build a base. For instance, there's a game called Oxygen Not Included. A game I played for 108 hours apparently. But I really like that game. And there'll be that one map where I was really into the game. Where all of my hours went into that game, into that one map. And I might have been watching a particular person on my second screen. And then I'm playing Oxygen Not Included. And I stop playing it. And if I return to that now, I can't continue that map. Because that was a moment in my life that's no longer there. And that's how I feel about playing old survival games where your friends aren't there anymore. That's how I feel about playing these base building games. And I'm not in the same headspace anymore. I find it hard to return to them. Peter says, used to play Modern Warfare 2, OG in private lobby with people, and I made friends with online. They have moved on to new CODs, but I still load up and hope to see one in the lobby. And I think that encapsulates that feeling of loading up survival games for me, or loading up whatever it is, and you're just not in that same, it's not the same time. It's like you've moved on. And it might even just be 6 months. It shows you how quickly you move on as a person. So Sports says old maps are nostalgic. Actually time capsules. Yes. It's a project on how it projects how we thought back then. Yes, I've got to go back. It does. You've said it better than I've said it, I must say. They are nostalgic. And even if it has just been even a month since you stopped playing that game, that headspace has completely changed. You know, for me, I'm not that same person anymore. I'm a different person. And that's what I find. It is a sad feeling, loading up those games, because you had all those times and they're behind you. But it's nice to have been able to have those nice times in those games. So I think that's what the most important thing from that is having those times, playing those games, having those memories, having your friends there. Or if you're playing that single player game, being so laser focused on that game. There's a time in your life where you was completely focused on something and not worrying about your problems or worrying about life in general. You're just thinking about playing this game. And for me also, that's how I kind of feel about World of Warcraft as well. Because there was that one time where all of us were playing it. You know, people in the guild are playing it. But yeah, I think that's an interesting thing to talk about, is those times on those old maps, old saves. I get that feeling as well if I try and play Counter-Strike, where it's just not the same. That moment's past, to be honest, when that everyone was fascinated by that game. The moment's past where I could probably ask to get a team on, but I don't think I'd enjoy it in the same way. Now, I do find it hard to go back to Counter-Strike, because when I was in it, I was practicing. I was practicing my aim. I was practicing like jiggle peaks like this. That's what I mean by a jiggle peak. I was practicing grenade spots. I was watching videos. It was like the passion, the thing. It was about purpose. And at the time, that purpose was to play Counter-Strike. That was my purpose as a human. And there's nothing wrong with that. But yeah, purpose is a hard thing to feel. And I have found that through video games. Is it me, or is it harder to make game friends now? I don't know if you guys agree, but I feel like it's because it can be easy to become quite isolated. As we all fragment into like these niche games, I might have one friend playing Warcraft 3, a bunch of friends playing Rocket League, then they only play that. There seems to be a lot of negativity online as well. People are very angry. They're very quick to be angry. If you do something wrong in Counter-Strike, someone will start swearing at you. They'll say, "What the fuck are you doing?" They will. I've had many people being very angry on the mic, and you just want to play the game. And that's why when I play Rainbow Six Siege, I just turn the chat off. In the past, I used to very easily get angry myself if someone's telling me what to do in the video game. The nature of us all being sort of fragmented, doing our own thing, being more in niche things, makes it harder. And that's why I enjoyed my time in World of Warcraft so much. It's sort of a natural, like, here's 40 people, you have to work together. You have to be on Discord. You don't have to be, but for the communication you do. And if you're doing that every week, you get to know them. And you might just be the kind of person, for a long time I was the kind of person that just sat in the background and didn't say anything. And then I started talking to a couple of people, and I grew more confident to actually talk in the voice chat. And I did make some friends that I would consider friends to this day. But have I made any new friends recently? No, it is hard, you're right. But is that because I close myself off to it? I turn off the voice chat. I try and not look at the chat inside the game because I don't want to get angry. But I'm blocking myself off to that potential of meeting someone I might like.